If you talk to longtime Disney World fans today, especially the ones who grew up visiting year after year, you'll hear a phrase that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. It doesn't feel like Disney anymore. Not in a nostalgic, rose-tinted way. In a very real, very tangible way. The parks are still there, the castles still stand, the characters still smile for photos, but the emotional contract that once made Disney World feel magical has quietly fractured, and in 2025, more fans than ever are questioning whether the experience is worth the cost, the stress, or the effort. For generations, Disney World wasn't just a theme park destination, it was a promise. You paid a premium, yes, but in return you got immersion, hospitality, storytelling, and a feeling that the company genuinely cared about the guest experience. The magic wasn't just the rides, it was how smoothly everything worked, how friendly the cast members were, how small details made families feel seen and welcomed. Today, that promise feels thinner, stretched by corporate priorities that have fundamentally changed how Disney operates. The most obvious breaking point for fans is pricing. Disney World has always been expensive, but there was a time when people could rationalize the cost because of the value packed into the experience. In recent years, prices have risen aggressively across every category at once. Tickets cost more, hotels cost more, food costs more, merchandise costs more, and on top of that, things that were once included are now add-ons. Genie Plus, Lightning Lane, special event tickets, upcharge dining experiences, premium fireworks viewing. The feeling fans describe isn't just "this is expensive," it's "I'm being charged extra to avoid a bad experience." That shift is critical. Disney used to design parks to absorb crowds and distribute joy evenly. Now, the system openly monetizes inconvenience. Long waits aren't problems to solve, they're leverage. If you don't want to stand in line for 2 hours, pay more. If you want decent viewing, pay more. If you want flexibility, pay more. Fans feel less like guests and more like customers navigating a paywall maze. What used to feel effortless now feels transactional, and that alone drains a lot of the magic. Technology was supposed to help, but for many fans, it's made things worse. The My Disney Experience app and Genie Plus system require constant attention. Families are glued to their phones, rushing ride availability, planning return times, adjusting schedules on the fly. Instead of wandering, discovering, and soaking in the atmosphere, guests feel like they're managing a logistics operation. For parents especially, this turns what should be a joyful vacation into a mentally exhausting exercise. Disney World used to let families unplug. Now it demands constant engagement. Then there's the experience on the ground. Fans consistently report that parks feel more crowded, yet less alive. Staffing shortages have affected everything from ride maintenance to dining availability. Lines move slower. Food options close early, entertainment offerings are reduced or simplified. Parades and live shows, once a cornerstone of Disney's immersive storytelling, have been cut back or quietly retired. Cast members who were once empowered to create magical moments are often stretched thin, overworked, and constrained by stricter rules and cost controls. The heart of Disney has always been its people, and fans can feel when those people are no longer supported the way they once were. At the same time, the parks themselves are changing in ways that longtime fans find unsettling. The emphasis on intellectual property has intensified to the point where original attraction concepts are rare. Lands and rides are increasingly built to promote existing franchises rather than create new stories. While this appeals to some audiences, others feel the parks are losing their creative soul. Disney World used to surprise people. Now it often feels like a physical extension of the streaming catalog, familiar but less imaginative. There's also a growing sense that Disney is prioritizing first-time visitors and high-spending guests over loyal fans. Annual pass holders face blackout dates, reservation systems, and reduced perks. Repeat visitors feel like an inconvenience rather than the backbone of the parks. Families who saved for years to return find that their previous knowledge doesn't help anymore because the rules constantly change. That unpredictability erodes trust. When fans can't plan confidently, they stop planning altogether. Another major factor is the emotional exhaustion people feel after a Disney trip. Vacations are supposed to leave you refreshed. Increasingly, guests leave Disney World tired, stressed, and financially anxious. They talk about sticker shock, constant upsells, and the pressure to maximize every minute to justify the expense. When the trip ends, instead of dreaming about returning, many say they feel relief. That's a devastating shift for a brand built on lifelong loyalty. What's striking is how often fans compare Disney World to its own past rather than to competitors. This isn't about Universal or international parks doing things better, though those comparisons come up often. It's about Disney no longer living up to the version of itself that people fell in love with. Fans aren't asking for cheap tickets or empty parks. They're asking for fairness, clarity, and a return to guest-first thinking. They want the feeling that Disney cares about their experience as much as their spending. The company's defenders often argue that demand remains high, and on paper that's true. Parks still sell out, hotels still fill, but attendance doesn't equal satisfaction. A brand like Disney doesn't collapse overnight. It erodes slowly as goodwill is spent down year after year. Fans who leave disappointed may not stop going immediately, but they go less often. They shorten trips, they skip extras, eventually they stop recommending Disney to others. That's how magic fades, not with a scandal, but with quiet disengagement. In 2025, Disney World stands at a crossroads. It can continue down the path of maximizing revenue per guest, accepting burnout and frustration as collateral damage, or it can recalibrate, remembering that magic isn't created by pricing algorithms or app features. It's created by trust, generosity, and emotional connection. The parks still have the potential to feel magical. The question is whether Disney is willing to prioritize that feeling again, even if it means easing the squeeze. For many fans, the sadness isn't that Disney World is bad, it's that it's close to being great, yet held back by choices that feel unnecessary. The rides still work, the music still plays, the fireworks still explode over the castle, but something essential is missing, and until Disney figures out how to bring that back, more fans will keep saying the same thing quietly and reluctantly. The magic didn't disappear overnight, but it's slipping away, one decision at a time.